Okay, Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Have to do this in two parts. This is the second part. As I said, they're in my computer and they're damaging my videos. They break, interrupting them, shutting them down, so I have to start over again. This is the second part, continuation of the first part. So um, I'm not leaving anything out here. We're going to start with fusion. That's the part I wanted to get to. Now, fusion. Fusion is how atoms are made. The simplest atom is a hydrogen atom with just one proton, one proton. But a helium atom has two protons, but you have to force them together. They won't come together because the torque and the spinning produces a charge which keeps them from coming together. So it takes a great deal of force to put them together. And the only time you can put them together, it takes superstars, to cause superstars to put them together, right? So our sun has the ability to make helium atoms, force proton, hydrogen atoms together to make helium, right? But you need superstars, right, to make like oxygen, carbon, all those type of atoms. Iron atoms, you take, a real superstar to make an atom like uranium. That gets another point I'm not going to talk about here, but that shows you that the Earth had to be the center of a superstar. They call it so-called Big Bang because the Earth has all the elements that is possible. So it had to be it's called a superstar to produce all those atoms in the right ratio they are. But they say, well, the way the Earth came together, all these stars exploded, and then when they exploded, all the elements came out of them, and somehow in some place in the universe, they all came together, and that's how we came to the Earth, and that's BS bullshit, pure and simple, right? As the Quran tells you, the earth and the heavens were one. That means we're at the center, and all the energy out there used to be the atmosphere of the earth. That means it was one gigantic star, a superstar, more powerful than any star ever. And the earth was at its core. And so there was so much pressure that it forged keep all these atoms that you see. The uranium, we have all the atoms are here on the earth. They're not missing any of them. It's in the right proportion. Maybe that's another story. So it takes a superstar to put them together. See? So you force them together. It's like, um, like a magnet. You try to, if you have the same poles, it won't go together before. So you have that same force trying to push them together. But if you let them go, they're going to come back, fly back apart. See? So they're pushing together. So how do they stay together? See? So how much force does it take together? The force that takes hold them together is equal to the same force that it took, right, to make them. That gets back to that 2A. So I'm not gonna go and go through all this, right? So you can read it at your own leisure, right? So here you stop it and read it at your own leisure, right? I'm not going to play it right now.
Fusion.
No, I'm not going to play it. So that red out there that shows, right? That's an example of the charge around it. And charge diminishes the further. That's where 2r divided by 2r. So the greater radius is, the weaker that's going to be. That's what that means. I'm not going to try to explain all this stuff. I said I'm not going to in detail because I just want to give you the basic idea here. So here it is, the two protons, right? They're like two magnets. They stay away from each other, right? So they're in their own place, away from each other. They're cool. So fusion, trying to push them together. So those are two hydrogen atoms. They're sitting there, right? So now you want to force them together. You want to make a helium atom. Right? See, so each one of these atoms, the force of each one of these protons is 2A, because remember, it takes 1 unit of force to make a neutron, it takes 2 units of force, another unit of force to make it spin. So that means a neutron is equal to 1 unit of force, but a proton is equal to 2 units of force, because it takes 1 unit to make a neutron, 1 unit of force to make a neutron, it takes 1 unit of force to make it spin. So protons equal 2 units of force, right? So neutron is a spinning neutron, right? So that's how much force they have. And that's the much force in between them, the current between them, right? So to put them together, it's going to take 2 units of force, right? It's going to take 2 units of force to force them together. Because that's how powerful their charge is, the force between them. So it takes 2 units of force to force them together. Bam. So now you force them together. See? But see, now you got 1 unit of force. It's 2 units of force trying to pull it back apart. Because it took 2 to put it in. But remember, that's how much it takes to hold it. But if it takes how much to push there, it takes how much to hold it there. So you can look at it as it's pushing or pulling it apart. You can look at it either way. We're going to look at it as pulling it apart. 1 unit of tension, 1 unit of tension on the other side. That's 2 units all together, trying to pull it back apart. See? So how are you going to keep them coming back apart? If you don't do it, if you don't have nothing to hold it there, it's going to come back apart. Because if you push together, right, you got to hold, you take the force it took to push together, guess how much force it takes to keep it together, right? So if you let go, it's going to come back apart. So remember, it's 1 unit of force, 2 unit of force, 1, pull it back together, right? See? So they're going to go back, see, nothing holding there, so they go back to where they were. If nothing holding them there, they'll go back to what they were, right? Now they're happy again. But now we're going to push them back together again, and we're going to see if we can figure out a way to hold them there, right? Now remember, it takes 1 unit of force to create a neutron. It takes 1 unit of force to make that neutron spin, right? Okay. But it takes 2 units of force to hold 2 protons together. 2 units of force, right? So let's see if we can see what's going on here. Bam! Because the unit of force is pulling together, instead of pulling together, it brings 2 neutrons into existence. Because each neutron is 1 unit of force, so you got 2, that's a 2 unit force that was pulled apart, but it pulled them into existence instead, so now there's nothing to pull apart. That's what neutrons do. It absorbs the tension that was pulling the protons apart. So it comes into existence by absorbing that tension. So now there's no tension on pulling those protons apart because the neutrons came to existence. That's why a helium atom has 2 neutrons. It needs 2 of them to hold them together. Hope you understand that. It takes 1 unit of force to create a neutron. But if you take, and you put 2 protons together, that means it takes 2 units of force to hold together. So if you can take, so if you let them go, it's going to, but if something absorbs that 2 unit of force, which is 1 neutron and another, that's 2 units, 2 neutrons will be that 2 units, then there's no force to be absorbed, so it won't come back, it won't come apart. That's what neutrons do. It holds the atom together. That's how they make fission bombs. A fission bomb, I said, yeah, fission bomb pulls atoms apart. Fusion bomb puts them together. So they take uranium, which is very complicated, and what they do is they take uranium and they knock neutrons out of it. So when they can't hold it together, so bam, it explodes. They explode. But that explosion is so powerful, right? That because that bomb surrounds the neutron, the fusion bomb, which is made of all. See, the fission bomb is made of uranium, but the fusion bomb is made of all just helium, hydrogen atoms, just hydrogen. So that's supposed. So what happened? It forces the hydrogen atoms to come together, fusion. Of course, this happened. See. But there's nothing to hold it there. The neutrons hold together. So once it forces all together, and then the explosion from the fission bomb is exhausted, right? It's spent, bam! Then all those protons fly apart. That's what a hydrogen bomb does. That's why I call it a hydrogen bomb, because it's made up of hydrogen. But a fission bomb is made of uranium, just the opposite. It's kind of slick the way they do it, but we go far beyond that. Because remember, that's the principle how stars are made, and we make stars. They make little firecrackers. We make stars. So that was okay. We're talking about fusion here again. See? So you read that. Bam, you're fusing it. Force two protons together. Takes a lot of force to do that. Takes 2 units of force to do it. Okay. And then that if you put neutrons, it creates 2 neutrons that stay together. Now fission, that's the opposite. Here's fission, right? You got the atom together. That's a helium atom. Right? You take the neutrons apart. There's nothing to hold them there now. Bam, fly apart. Nothing to hold them. Once you move the neutron, that's how you make fission bombs. They hit it with neutrons. They have neutrons. They hit it with neutrons real hard, and by hitting so hard, neutrons knock neutrons away from it. Nothing to hold it. Explodes. And we're going to talk quickly about gravity, and then we're going to click gravity. Now, they tell you the mathematics, but they don't understand what gravity is. They have a theory of gravity, but they don't understand what gravity is. I'm going to give you a short little clip on gravity because gravity is most powerful, it's everywhere. Gravity is just curved space. When you make a neutron, right, the neutrons, but the space around is curved also because it made a sphere. Space around is curved. So all the space is curved. So all the space around a proton is curved because the proton is curved. So space is not straight, it's curved. And that's important. That's what causes gravity. See here? So here's you say, oh, you guys, all the protons in the middle, right? Okay, or these neutrons, whatever, right? These atoms in the middle. So that means all the space around is curved. But see this little proton up here, or this little atom? It's right here. But it displaces space. Because remember, it comes to distance by expressing. So it displaces. It's not in space, it displaces. That's the difference. It's not like putting a marble on top of a sheet. That means it's on top of the sheet, right? But if you expand the sheet and right, but it's not in the sheet. See, if it's in the sheet, it displaces space in the sheet. But if it's on the sheet, it's different. See, these are displacing space, so that means that since it's space, so that means on one side of the space, right, it's curved all around it. But so since space is curved, that means the further it gets out, the less the curve is. The less the force is, because remember that curvature is based on the center. So the further go out, the less the force of that curve is. So that means, since it's displaced, that means the side closest to the center is going to have more force than the side away from it. That's what gravity is. Since there's a difference in pull, it's going to go towards the strongest pull. That means it's going to go towards the center. That's gravity is the long and short of it. Because it's just curved space. Anything that curves space produces gravity. So I'm giving an example here. So as it's moving towards the center, because the space closest to the center has more tension than the space away from it, because this space is space. So it's pulled on both sides, but the side closest to it, the pull is greater than the pull on the other side. That's why gravity is so weak, but it's still powerful. Gravity is the weakest force there is, but it's powerful. That's why you need a big superstar to have enough gravity, right, to force fusion together. Gravity is the weakest force there is. Well, no, there's a weaker force than that. I'm not going to talk about that here. I call it a weak force, but I'm not going to talk about that here. That's what's going on here. See, it's getting closer and closer. That's what gravity does for you. Push towards the center. I'm not going to talk about triangles and stuff. I'm thinking about bypassing this, right? But triangles is one of the most powerful structures in the universe. Almost all of Cavy's math is based on triangles. Almost all this math is based on triangles. Almost all of it. See? because it's very powerful. The mass for mass of the triangle is very powerful. What this saying here is this side plus this side of a triangle, if you add them together, is equal to this same space here. If you had find what this space is here, say for instance, this was 3 by 4. That's called a perfect triangle. So that would mean if this was 3, this is 4, that means this will be 5. So that means this will be 3 squared, 4 squared, this will be 5 squared. That's the perfect. Anyway, I'm not going to that. But it's based on that principle. See? So vectors, based on the same thing. That's what vectors are. Vectors are a powerful physics tool, right? A plus B equals C is vectors. That's this, stretched into this form, is based on this here. Vectors are based on triangles. Trigonometry is based on triangles. Here's trigonometry. Again, based on triangles. This is the angle between the triangles. Now, every triangle has 9 degrees. So here, if you got this triangle, this is a right triangle, you add it all together, right? I mean, each one has 180 degrees. That's what I meant to say. So if you add it all together, you get 180 degrees. That's trigonometry is based on that concept. And that's how you measure, how you can figure how far the sun is away from the earth by just using trigonometry, by getting these angles, right? I'm not going to that, explain it. We'll some other time. See, trigonometry angles again. See, so if you took a circle, right, if you took all these pieces put together, you get a circle. Okay? So that means the circle is 180, 360 degrees. That means this would be 180, this would be 90, this would be 90, this would be 99. You don't know half of it. So that means you'd have 180 right here, in the side here. Okay, so one last thing here. So I want to talk this in, so I guess I'll give it some little thought here. The bait to destroy the Abrahamic covenant. They desperate destroy it. Why? I'm not going to, I had an old video explain all this here, but we understand that they desperate destroy it because that will change the whole reality. It changes the whole reality, changing everything. See? And they got the chief demon pushing it. Because if he's telling you that we're not going anywhere, that means he's saying Abrahamic covenant is a lie, he's against it. And that's what it's all about. It's all about everything that's going on right now. It's about the Abrahamic covenant. So anyone's telling you that we're not going anywhere, that means he's nullifying the Abrahamic covenant. That means he's calling God a liar. He's against it. Because that's fulfillment of the Abrahamic covenant. We fulfilled our part. God is fulfilling his part. That's why Jesus says, I go the way to prepare a place for you. You said in the beginning, it says, Elijah says, right? What did it say? Right? We'd be fools the ones staying in the land of our imprisonment. So that's to show who he is. If you don't recognize Farrakhan by now, you never will. He's a demon. So, this is the vision they're trying to give us. It tells you in the Quran, all this is going to be burned down. So why would they want you to give you this vision that has a dead end? This is the vision. This is the Quranic vision. It's about biblical vision. Milk and honey, God's where rivers flow, right? Manicured, well-manicured gardens. Milk and honey. See? Not this skyscraper stuff, electronic, all this stuff. That's not the vision that they give in the Bible and the Quran. So they get away and say, oh, well, yeah, that's the Bible's right, but you're supposed to get it after you die. You say, okay. Again, what vision is going to win? What vision are you buying onto? These people are selling you, these demons, these ministers, Farrakhan, these preachers out here, these television demons, they pretend they're you, acting like you, walking like you, talking like you, right? That's the vision they're trying to sell you on. We're gonna make America great. We're gonna clean up America. You can't clean up shit. No, the America belongs to us. We built it. We're gonna take it. We're gonna inherit it. All this kind of nonsense. See, that leads to this vision over here on the right. That's the vision they tell you. All the movies and everything tell you that's the vision they're going towards. That's the vision they're trying to achieve. That means they got to get rid of our vision. Got to get rid of our creation. See? That demon vision they're giving you is the vision that leads to that vision they're trying to bring into existence. And the scriptures tell you that demon vision is going to be wiped out. God's getting rid of that vision. So why are they selling you on that vision? And why are you buying it? If you claim to be biblical, you claim to be a Christian, you claim to read the Bible, you claim all that stuff, and you buying that vision, and you buying into it. Because all these demons, they bought into it because they look at Kobe. Look at Kobe. You mean Kobe, out of 34 million black people, or 17 million women, if that's half of his women, he could find one black woman, one. Cuba Gooding Jr., Tiger, Venus. I mean, see, they're all demons. And they're leading you the way to this vision. This vision has no future to it. It says if there's a way that leads, that seems right to a man, but leads to destruction, that's that vision right there. And rather than say, no, we're going to stay here. You better get your ass out of here. You're packing up. Because Pharaoh's on the way to burn this thing down. It's going to be burned down. It says in Malachi that you claim that you were Elijah, right? You claim you're Elijah, right? But you're talking about the measure of covenant, so how come you ain't down with that? Now this fool Elijah telling you Elijah Muhammad is his own measure of a covenant. In other words, Elijah come to his own temple. Just lie their ass off. They said. So I tell you, in Malachi, Elijah didn't have to measure the covenant. It tells you all this going, the earth's going to burn down as an oven. The days coming to burn down as an oven, burn up as an oven. And yet you buying this? It says, and if we don't turn, if he doesn't turn our hearts back to our fathers, our hearts back to us, he's going to burn. He's going to curse this place like you couldn't imagine. But you want to stay here? God's mama said, okay. Move on, brothers and sisters. Yep, that's Farrakhan. Why is he selling that vision? Because he's a demon. He's a demon. He's a demon. That's why he sold to you. That's his mission. Son of perdition. Okay. But our vision will prevail, and our women, right, be exalted as she should be. Mother civilization, the goddess of the universe. See, she's our we are expression of strength, and she's our expression of beauty. We was all one at once, but now she's got the beauty, we got the strength. She left us a little bit of beauty, we gave her a little bit of our strength. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's it. So I'm gonna have to put these two together. Hopefully, you get both these pieces. I'm gonna try to figure out how to put both together because actually they interrupted the first one. They messing my equipment up. They're messing everything up. You can't believe what I have to go through, brothers and sisters, to put these together to begin with, and then I gotta fight with them, right, to get it to you. They're doing everything they can. I mean, they stop my videos, right? Stop my presentations. And then once I even make it, I can't open the videos, I can't open them up. I got to do all kinds of stuff to access to my own videos I just created, right? And then they block it so I can't upload to YouTube, so I have to go a different way, right? And I mean, brothers and sisters, but they ain't gonna stop anything. Okay, brothers and sisters. All right, Assalamu alaikum.